And welcome to another edition of South Texas Now. This is Attorney Joe Flores to remind you to join us each and every week right here on KTMV, KRIS, Telemundo, and also on the internet on multiple platforms. I'm here with my good friend, Carlos Lopez, and he brought a surprise guest who may be coming in and out of the studio. And his name, that handsome young man, is
Anthony Humberto Lopez.
Anthony Humberto Lopez.
And Eric is here with us as well today.
Eric, Eric you here?
Eric. He's over there with Trish right now.
We want to make sure that everybody is reminded that every child is special in this world. And we want to underline our last interview where you came on and a lot of people were just moved by it and inspired. What would you like to say about that interview?
You know, I really loved it, Joe. A lot of people did come up to me, and even today still talk about it. And if anything, it's opening a window to the lives of many parents that are out throughout South Texas and throughout the world that have their own personal experience having to go through everything that you have to go through with children with special needs. In our case, we have 3 children with special needs, and they're a true blessing. But it is challenging, and it has all the peaks and valleys that we all go through in life with an added other things that we have to deal with as well.
Absolutely. And there's Anthony in the back. He's been an associate executive producer today, so I'd like to thank him. And Eric, you guys going to the movies this weekend?
We are. We love going to the movies. We've seen at least 1,000 movies since Eric has been born.
Oh, wonderful. And he always likes to sit in the front row.
The front row.
That, if my C2, C3 was
Joe provides the popcorn for the last 15 years.
Yes, the popcorn. I've been very, very privileged to do it. Remember, and who can people call if they have a child with special needs and get the party going where people can help other support parents?
There's the Rice School of Corpus Christi, Joe. It's a great start as well. Driscoll Children's Hospital does a wonderful job with therapies, and there's other therapies as well. ABA therapy here as well, and that provide a lot of information and provide a lot of services for parents that are perhaps just recently had a child with special needs and going through that evaluation period as well. It's very important.
Well, also we want to thank David Rumley and his lovely wife. They've always been a very, very good help to the Rise School. Is that correct?
The Rise School of Corpus Christi,
yes.
Right. That's correct.
And people can contact them, too, for their education. And I think that we're being plugged in here by Anthony. He's our executive producer. And we're not losing any film at all.
No, We're just going to have some great, swimming out in the backyard and in the pool and barbecue and just enjoy family time.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. What a curious young man. Eric, Anthony. Oh, it's Anthony. God, he's getting so big. Anthony, come here.
Come over here.
Dad
Say hello
for a second.
Come over here. No, Anthony, we won't do that.
Well, he'll come over in a second, but it's been more than a pleasure to have you guys on. The other thing that I wanted to bring out is congratulations on your stations. Tell me all about it. Houston, San Antonio, you're rocking.
Yeah, Joe, we've been busy in 2022, 2023. We're putting a new FM in Houston right now. We are getting another one. We have one in Brownsville. We have one in Laredo as well. Several in San Antonio by the Riverwalk and the World Hemisphere as well. And we're hoping to get one in Austin again to bring Tejano to Austin as well. We're in Victoria, Las Cruces, Nuevo Mexico, and here in Corpus Christi as well. So God has been fantastic, and we're grateful.
And they say Tejano's dead.
No.
Yeah, right.
No,
I want to compliment you. We were working hard for once. My brother and I were working on at the ranch, and we had 104.9 on, and you guys had the old school orchestra stuff. Like when Bobby Galvan was on the other day, the judge, he talked about the times, that era, that grand, the golden era of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Eric, how you doing? Come on in. Yeah, and so they played all this stuff. What's Eric watching?
Say right here.
Say hi to TV Land.
Hi, buddy.
Say hello to Uncle Joe right there.
Uncle Joe.
I'm right here. Yeah, man. Yeah. We were just talking about.
We're gonna go buy tickets for that movie, The Equalizer.
The Equalizer. I want to come with you guys. I want to sit out in the front.
But yeah, Joe. we continue to play the classic Tejano and today's Tejano as well on 104.9. In 1989, we went on the air, so we've been on the air for 34 years, Joe.
Wow.
That's a long time. And we continue to bring Tejano music and propel it. We've seen artists like Emilio, Selena, Mas, La Tropa F, all the big stars, that have come out throughout the years right here. David Ligarza, Los Musicales, El Grupo Mas, La Mafia, you name it, Joe. Selena, how can we forget Selena? I mean, her great music,
yes.
and that's just...
You gave her her first shot.
Yes.
And then Jennifer Lopez played her and really rose to stardom.
I met Jennifer Lopez, Joe, in New York City when they had a junket. That's when the movie... I saw the movie before anybody else saw it.
Oh, wow.
They invited the media to go and to critique and to see that they get it right as far as, historically the way it was set up.
They got the purple dress right,
They got the purple dress and the outfit, right? The outfit. And I think it was just amazing. It really, really was amazing how they got all the details, Joe, the way it needed to be done. And I got a chance to meet her, Edward James Olmos, everybody who came out of the movie I got to interview as well. And it was pretty amazing, Joe.
Well, your station also got me to interview Ted Kennedy before he passed away.
Correct.
You got me that
Ted
guest, and also the late Bill Edwards, a legend here in town, who just passed away. We want to say hi to Billy. And I think Eric just broke the inside record for speeding. But what I want to also compliment you on is when Donald Trump came down to Laredo and he was there, you asked a tough question.
I asked a tough question, yeah. And I don't often do politics and what have you, Joe, but, I'm a broadcaster, so I ask questions. I'm a reporter. And when he came down for the first time, one of his first political stops was at Laredo, Texas, and I asked a very tough question. A guy from NBC asked a question as well, Jose Diaz.
It was during the time in Spanish, postuló que latinos vienen trayendo drogas, están trayendo crimen, son violadores y algunos, supongo, son buenas personas. I guess some guys are okay, but the rest are crooks and prostitutes, okay? Now, I'm not criticizing him right now. I think that they prosecuted him in different venues during an election year. That smells of a little political motivation, particularly New York and Atlanta. Wow, what a surprise that they are trying to prosecute him there.
I prefer for the public to decide in voting,
exactly.
Joe, and let
microphone.
Hey, all right.
Hey,
yes, that is my Anthony. I think it's going to stay on. Do we have it on? Yes, it's working. All right.
Perfect, baby. Go back over there.
What's the microphone?
The microphone.
The microphone is still there. Right. Yeah, but you came out on TV. Now you're a star. So you came out and you called him out. What were your exact words?
I just. I asked him if he felt that he had the need to offer an apology to what he had said.
And I think that's what he said. No comment.
At that point, Joe, it was tensions were very high, and I just felt that it was a very powerful statement that he had said, and I think it needed to be addressed. And
that was the time Jorge Ramos, one of my favorites.
Well, Jorge Ramos was later on.
Later on, he was removed from the White House press.
If I was Jorge, I would never would allow that to happen. I would have stand my ground, and I don't care how big the guy was.
I think they physically were intimidated. Yeah, carried him out.
He needed to be carried out, and he allowed them to push him out. And he should have stand his ground, because the press is the most important thing, Joe, in this country when it comes to democracy. We have to have that freedom of press in order for us to have the democracy, Joe. And to be pushed or to be silenced is very, very, it's something that shouldn't happen.
That's why there is Fox, MSNBC, there's different, frankly, I listen to public radio, your station, I hear real people talking and also giving their views on things. Real people.
I thought, I don't think the question that I asked him was tough. I just think that, It was a.
Don't you think you owe the Hispanic
community
people an apology
for what he said?
For, whores, drug pushers, criminals.
Let me tell you why, Joe. Because my grandmother was from Monterrey, Mexico. She was a good, hard worker, and she came and she opened up a business and things of that nature. And I didn't want that perception of us to be put in a box, Joe, because I think we're better than that. All as human beings, all of our, everyone. That's what makes this country amazing, great. That all of us, either you're Irish or Italian or Arab or you're Latino or whatever. That's what makes us beautiful. It makes it wonderful. But to just stereotype us in a way I didn't think.
And we're the greatest trading partner with Mexico,
right?
And we're also very, very close.
But I understand what he was trying to say, Joe. I understand what he was trying to say, and I understand that he wanted to create like some sort of you got to throw something strong in order for it, because he's not a politician, so he had to make a big splash in order for him to make it. And he did. He's a genius when it comes to type of things.
I tell you what.
When it comes to creating things, he knows how to elevate no matter how hard he gets hit. He's a New York guy. He knows how to fight,
Yeah.
And when he responded like a New York guy, And then another guy from NBC asked a question. And then he got upset. He goes, "That's it, press conference over." So it was there for 5 minutes in Laredo. But, Joe, there were so many people there to see him because he was more like a star, Joe. There were not because of what he said, but because he was on The Apprentice, and everybody wanted to see him.
I think people are frustrated.
Cool. Yeah, they were cool. They were happy to see him. Wanted his autograph and stuff as well. It wasn't. There was a mix, and then you have that fact, and then you have the other ones that were the political, watchdogs that are just kind of watching everything and criticizing and making points and things of that nature. And then you have the fan club that. They're not really interested in politics.
AKA the base. And I like the base. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're very loyal,
Well, there was a lot of Mexicanos, too. There were just people that love them, because they love the show The Apprentice. And it's like seeing, anybody that's a star, Joe, that comes into your town, you want to get a chance to get a glimpse of him. Because he wasn't the president yet at that time.
He calls it the way it is, the way he sees it.
Correct.
And right now, I don't know what's going to happen with all the trials and everything, but he'd be the first president or former president that's thinking of running again that would be indicted in multiple venues. New York is notorious for going after big targets. And he would be certainly one of them, his own hometown. And then in Atlanta, but I have not seen one mugshot.
There's one only in Atlanta.
In Atlanta?
Yeah,
Did they have enough hairspray and tanning solution? 'Cause that's a constitutional right as well.
What happened to Anthony's phone?
Oh, no. I don't know. Maybe you left it at the house.
Oh, no. The phone's gone. When I lose my phone, I lose it, And today, I was also going to be talking about the impact that the war on drugs has had. That he does say some truth that there are poisons coming into this country, coming in from Mexico. Mm-hmm. And we're also looking at the war on drugs. Narcotraficantes han destruido prácticamente 1.5 million lives, practically have destroyed that many and counting. And in the border towns, they're putting out every 8 hours 50 kilos of methamphetamine.
That's horrible. Horrible.
Fentanyl.
Horrible.
And they're human trafficking and making them swallow pellets. And if they don't come over with them and they don't have a kilo in their belly, they're not going to get through. So this stuff is real. And,
it's a subject that a lot of people did want to talk about, Joe. And he brought it up to light and put it in the forefront there. That needs to be talked to. We need to secure the border. I mean, we can't have that poison coming into our streets and poisoning our children, Joe, and future generations as well. So they have to figure out something to curtail that from happening even more and get more aggressive as well. So good or bad, whatever you think about him, I guess it's he at least brought it up to the attention of people, and maybe it was in the dark for many, and it may look bad, or maybe we get offended because we're Latinos ourselves, but it needs to be talked about because they have to truly secure it, Joe, 100%.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, and we want to thank Anthony for coming on, and Eric, somebody's hungry, and remember...
and you know what, Joe? I want to interrupt real quick, Joe.
You're the boss.
The fact that you see them here, we've had these shows in the past, Joe, when I talk about them. This is the reality of what one deals with as well. And their activity, sometimes they're hyper, sometimes they're not. But
it's kind of like being my friend.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But I want the audience to realize that this is how it looks and this is how it feels, and their movement and things of that nature. But they mean love, but that's just the way they are. Hold on, Anthony, don't touch that, baby. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, not the camera.
Not the camera. Baby.
Oh boy, yeah, we'd be in trouble.
So thank you for the invite, Joe. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. People are wanting more of our Spanish interview. Unfortunately, I do have. Vamos a hacer un rápido entrevista ahorita.
Yeah, you want to do it right now?
We're out of time, but we'll be back with a Spanish show on Telemundo coming up right now. We're going to commercial, but bye-bye from TV Land.